All right. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about another farming strat that I would use. It's called Destructive Play Idle. So right here, Maven cast up the stakes, summoning 1 to 3 additional Atlas bosses when witnessing map bosses. Number of additional bosses summoned is higher if there are fewer monsters remaining in the map. So the main thing that we want to do is we want to blitz maps as fast as possible to get the highest amount of bosses added at the end, and we will combine that with other idols such as these. Final map boss in each map has a however many chance to drop Shaper Guardian maps, or we could also do Conqueror maps, Elder maps, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you'll look down here, I have map bosses have 562% increased chance to drop Conqueror maps, as well as all the other maps. I don't really have a preference. Conqueror maps are good, but I also like the synthesis maps because they drop a lot of XP when you're running them. And yeah, so these are super cheap idols, super cheap strategy. I didn't even buy any of these just from having destructive play itself. Each boss has a high percent chance to drop an idol, so I pretty much farmed up my own idols this way. As you can see in my stash right here, all of these idols that I have, I've farmed through this strategy, so it definitely works. I got a bunch of dump tabs still with a bunch of idols, still have to identify everything, but yeah, we'll get right to the strategy. This strategy works with just Alch and Go. You can do it in T16s, doesn't really matter. So the main thing is you want to make sure that the maps aren't witnessed by Maven yet, that this is highlighted in the center. It will be harder, so don't get me wrong, you do need a decent build for this, but yeah, strategy is just go as fast as possible, get to the map bosses, kill them, and then eventually you'll get the Maven's invitations, where you'll just get more idols and chances of Maven's Chisels, Awakened Gems, Orb of Dominance, things like that. So the faster you go, the more money you'll make. So we'll get right to that. I'm going to toss in my movement speed flask, and we're just going to do a desert map, nothing fancy. Make sure we're on the right page. Bam, bam, bam. Good to go. So yeah, this strategy is one that I've been using basically since the start of the league, as soon as I got to T16s and this character was strong enough. I farmed up enough currency at the start to get my Indigon. So in my previous video, I talked about that a little bit. This was essentially what gave me all the money that I have right now to run that strategy, which is 100% Delirious maps. And yeah, so we'll just get to it. We'll just blitz through this, and ideally you want to run the maps until it says less than 50 monsters remaining, because that's when you get the max amount of bosses that'll spawn. So you don't only have to choose one type of map to drop from bosses. I'm heavily weighted towards Conqueror maps, just because when you kill the Conquerors, they have a chance of dropping their Orbs, so the Conqueror Orbs, and those go for, you know, a div or two a piece, and yeah. That's just a little bit of extra money on top there. Oh, looks like we got a sale. Do not disturb real quick. Yeah, not every map is going to be great. This is basically just an Alch and Go with a little bit of extra on top. You can, there's a lot of different things you could do to make the, oh man, hold up, to make the mapping better. Let's see if I can actually click on this chest. There we go. I think we got it. So yeah, so you can go all into one map type. I might eventually do that just for Conqueror maps, but I like to keep a wide variety of maps dropping from these bosses. You can add on scarabs too. Right now I'm just running without scarabs. Can I really not click on this chest? Okay, never mind. I've never seen that happen. Interesting. So, it looks like we cannot fight the boss in this map. Wow, what are the chances of that? I've never seen that. Alright, okay, well. New map. Alrighty, we'll just run this pit map that we have here. Well, that's rather unfortunate, but I guess that's the reality of the game sometimes, so we'll just send this map. But yeah, as I was saying, so if you have a character that can farm bosses too, really fast, this strategy gives you a bunch of different fragments as you're running the maps, because you're getting all of the Conqueror maps, Elder maps, Shaper maps, all that stuff like that. So you can either sell those fragments or you can run the bosses yourself to get Uber Elder fragments and whatnot. Or you could run Cyrus and Shaper, all that stuff. One other strategy that is also good is that you can, you can add on scarabs that drop stacked decks. So I was running that for a while. If, can't remember exactly what they're called right now, but if you stack a couple of those, you'll get upwards of 30 or 40 stacked decks per map, and that doesn't require anything fancy. That just adds packs of mobs that'll give you stacked decks. So if you feel like gambling, that's definitely a strat you can do. It's super cheap on the scarabs as well, and if you get lucky, that'll set you up pretty decently. I know I've definitely got a decent amount of high cost divination cards so far, so yeah, if you have a fast build, this is definitely a low investment way of making some money. And it obviously feels good when you get certain Maven drops like the Chisels of Scarabs. I'm pretty sure that's a couple hundred chaos right now each. Let's see, you can get Awakened Orbs, or sorry, Awakened Gems. Oh, this strat you can also get Conqueror's Idols, so I've definitely made a couple divs just off of finding one random good mod on a Conqueror Idol. And just like that, super easy. Blitz the maps as fast as possible, pick up whatever you need, and then we'll run another one as soon as I can get it to this hideout. Okay, and what else do we have? So, Maze of the Minotaur. Nice, bam. Just as long as Maven hasn't witnessed whatever map you're running, that's how you get the strategy to work. That's the only stipulation right now. I definitely like Maze of the Minotaur because it's a very linear map. So you can optimize your strategy when you're running T17 maps to just be either wide open maps or ones where you can just run down one path and it's just super linear. I definitely find myself going through those maps faster so I don't have to backtrack or, you know, zigzag through the map. Once again, this isn't a super high div per hour strategy. It kind of does rely on luck, but if you do get some good idols here and there, and you get some good drops from either the Maven fights or some of the boss fights here, like the Conquerors, then this is definitely a good way of farming up your own idols and just having a stash of maps that you could run. Alrighty, almost at the boss. So bam. Oh, looks like this map has less recovery. good. And as you can see, just from that, we've got the max amount of bosses, and we have 2 Conqueror maps, one, what is a Shaper map, we have a Synthesis map, and an idol right there, plus a fragment. So if you would sell everything like that, then, you know, you can easily make some money, or you could run it all, or whatever you need to do. Just super easy strat. Most maps are like this, like it'll drop, you know, 2 to 3 Elder, Shaper, Conqueror maps, whatever, and then right away you'll just run those or sell it, whatever you want, you know. Super easy. So I'll keep this going a little bit. We'll see if we get anything off of these. So it saves you a bunch of money as well. If you already ran these maps, you can add on Searing Exarch, but yeah, you save a bunch of money because you don't have to buy any Conqueror maps, anything like that. And as you kill all of the Conquerors, you can run the Maven's Invitations, and if your character is strong enough, then yeah, it just keeps compounding based off of how many maps you get, all the fragments, so on and so forth. Super easy. So if your build is good, check this one out. And we'll just do this real quick. So I don't have the Maven's Invitation, or Maven's Witnessing this map, so I'm just gonna run right to the end instead of trying to clear everything really quick. And don't get me wrong, while I do have a really good build, I was doing this exact strategy before I had Indigon, before I had Mage Blood, before I really had anything. I was just using pretty much leveling gear. You know, maybe I spent a div or 2 on my gear back when I was, you know, I was doing this strategy maybe 3-4 days in the league. And I really took my time getting to the end there, so it's not impossible, and it only gets better as your character gets stronger. Yeah, you're not paying a ton for idols because you can farm your own over time. All you really need to do is start with the destructive play idol. That's the only thing you need for the strategy if you want to farm idols. So that's the only correction I'll do. And then once you start adding on increased chance of Conqueror's maps and all that stuff, and say once you also get your 4 watchstones, you'll be getting T17 maps here and there just as you're mapping. So that's a little bit of extra, you know, cash that you can get. But I love this because it's super laid back. Alcon strategy basically. And we'll see what we get off of this one. There we go. Alright, nothing on this one, so just keep going, but even still, the fragments that you get off of this, how much are they worth right now? They might not be too much, but it still adds up. So if you're running maps in, you know, 2 minutes or whatever, it adds up. Let's see. Yeah, so right now you can sell them for what, 19, 20 a piece, or you can sell them instantly for 15. So yeah, every map that you're doing, that's at least, you know, a nice minimum 20C plus whatever else drops, plus more Conquerors, map, Shaper, Elder, all that stuff. So yeah, definitely check it out.